Hi folks, Buffin here with your Antifa News Briefa for March 23rd, 2022. Ukraine war update. Good news, I guess, is that Ukraine is winning the war against Russia. Russia invaded Ukraine and Ukraine is succeeding in winning that war. But the real battle or the real struggle that needs to be won is peace needs to win out over war entirely. So that's a much bigger thing. But this will play a role in it. As it is, it's really obvious Zelensky is winning against Putin. No, if nothing changes from now on, Zelensky's already won and will never lose against Putin. Putin has already lost. So that's already taken place. Ukraine is winning against Russia, but the goal we need is for Russia to win against Putin because Russia will either destroy Putin or vice versa. So hopefully Russia will just finish off Putin and move on and try to make amends for what it's done under obvious tyrannical, insane leadership. I mean, it's somewhat of an excuse. We were lied to. Of course, people are trying to tell them the truth, but yeah, most of them are still lied to. Now, the lies can't go on forever. The truth is coming out. So, truth will win over lies. Peace needs to win over war. And when you look at it in different ways, like I said, you can look at it as Putin versus Zelensky and Zelensky won. You can look at it as Russia versus Ukraine and Ukraine is winning. You can look at it as Russia versus Putin and Putin's winning, but hopefully the tide will turn and Russia will win and defeat Putin. But you can look at it as the militaries against all of us. That's another way of looking at it. And that's where peace versus war comes in, because all of this is a huge advertisement by militaries for nuclear power, saying, well, they gave up their nukes, so they got invaded, to try to sell the idea of nuclear weapons, which is the worst idea we've ever had, obviously. No one would use them but a madman. And you can say, well, a madman wouldn't use them, but here you have Putin threatening to use them. So that's a terrible advertisement. And then the other advertisement from the military is, well, even if a much more advanced country tries to invade you, we have all these small weapons that can destroy them. And when I say it's an advertisement that relies on people getting killed. The best thing that's coming out of this war is some soldiers are surrendering or defecting or escaping to Ukraine, and they're being treated better there than by the Russian army. So that's good, but it's not worth the expense of the hundreds of soldiers Russian soldiers becoming Ukrainian is a good thing, but it's not worth the thousands of soldiers getting killed. It's not worth even all that stuff getting blown up. But all that stuff is a waste. You could have just gotten a few hundred bus tickets to some Russian boys if you wanted to send them to Ukraine. You didn't have to get that many murdered. And Putin murdered them. When I say got them murdered, Putin murdered them. So, and Putin's murdered lots of Ukrainian people as well. It all needs to stop. We all know it needs to stop. And the people supporting it need to stop supporting it. And that's how peace wins out over war. Because only war enablers and the right all over the world have ever supported militarism. We've been against militarism for decades, for centuries even, and we haven't ended it yet. But it's got to end sometime, and this is the time. This is the time for peace to win out over war. This has to be the last war. I was saying it should have been Syria. I was saying that 10 years ago, that Syria should have been the last war. Well, I was wrong on that count. But if we could get more people to agree to it, then we will be right that this is the last war. We've got enough documentation from it about how terrible war is, that as soon as we get enough people aware of that, we should have the outcry to stop it. That should be our goal from this evidence of these war crimes being committed against Ukraine. And we've already got enough. It doesn't need to go on any longer. So this is why my hashtag is Pillow Revolution, for a peaceful, nonviolent revolution of all people against all these warlike powers. So peace wins against war, but we don't win by a war. You can't fight fire with fire. Only love can drive out hate. So we use words, express yourself. You don't have to use Pillow Revolution, but express yourself and your ideas about stuff. And that will have a magical effect, and it will help build the network of people to overthrow the evil network of people. We've seen some real clear examples of how they work, And we need to set some real clear examples of how we work. So, and how we play, because it's play versus work too. It's goodness over badness. It's peace over war. And we got this. So let's do it. And bye bye Putin, bye bye Trump, bye bye Trump Putineers, bye bye all that ideology that's been holding us back. It's been on highly visible display like a big target that needs to be taken out, and we need to get rid of those ideas forever and never have them again. You can tell whose ideas they are because they're all the ones that lead up to that network of Putin's uh, Ponzi scheme of lies. So thanks for watching and sharing. Let's topple that um, deceitful house of cards that is Trump-Putinism and never see it again. Now that we've seen the clearest examples of it and how terrible it can be, let's never allow it to rise again. Love you forever. Thanks for watching and sharing. See you soon.